So it's been a while now since we started our TPD.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe we should describe it a bit, because we had different parts in this TPD.
Yes, we had two different parts. Because we work with both student teachers and teacher in practice.
Yeah. So you actually had the in-service teacher a little bit more, and we had the teacher students more.
Yes, and we have some common workshops and some divided workshops, and a little bit different tasks.
Yeah. So it was like we started together, and then we had different tasks with the different groups, and then we ended together with some kind of what you say, we did present for each other, the different groups, and we had a common theme about nanotechnology.
Yeah, and we started with invited a researcher in nanotechnology and risks. So she started, and I think that was a really good start at the course, that she was there giving a lecture.
Yeah, and before that they listened to this what is it called?
The pod.
Yeah, the podcast.
Yes, yes. Yeah. And that was another researcher that also described the nanotechnology field, but from another perspective.
Yeah, that was Maria Strömme, professor in nanotechnology, and she was very much about developing the technology so it was kind of two different perspectives, you could say.
Yeah, and I think that was good, because that made a good start of the discussion for the rest of the TPD.
Because the one that was invited was Kristina Isaksson in Lund.
Yes.
And she was researching about risk.
Yeah.
So they got the development and the possibilities, and then they get the risk. And that was what we wanted to think about. And
that was in the summary, and when we evaluated these TPDs, almost every in-service teacher mentioned that two perspectives, and that it was important to see that from the beginning.
Yes, and we thought that this is such new knowledge, so to get the researchers into to our courses was a good way to open up a new area, because the books wasn't really there.
No, and I think it was good also to meet a real researcher in life, and also the Preservice teachers that we worked with. They also, when they in the end of the project talked about their projects, mentioned this pro-con balance of both the perspectives.
And then they also met other researchers in SSI, for example, socio-scientific issues. One who were researching about this.
Yeah, but I think that was good to also show that these are a little bit different fields and different perspectives, different theories, and that they could also and that we need both in science education. Both need the scientists and the research in science, and we need the social scientists that research education.
Yeah. So it's educational research, how to use the subject, and also the researchers that are really into the subject, you could say.
Yeah.
And then we did some work with the student groups from this start, and that was a bit different. What did you do, Mats?
For the in-service teachers, they have a task that they should go home and work with some similar projects in the classroom. And about half of them worked with nanotechnology, and the rest showed different themes about fertility and sustainable development and so on. So they worked with the students for maybe 3 or 4 weeks, and then they come back and reported and presented what they have done and what the students have learned, and opportunities and difficulties and so on. And all in this in a civil mode, trying to get all these different parts into it. But I think it was more common than work with SSIs.
Yeah. Which is kind of part of the framework.
An important part of the
system. And then we included this new technology also, And we did a little bit different.
Yeah, all the pre-service teachers, they worked with nanotechnology. And but we combined it with life cycle analysis, and the 3 or 4 groups worked with different nanotechnology products, and it was shown that they are quite different, the different products, but they also have similarities. So together it was interesting to compare and see the differences, but also what is common with all the nanotechnology, new technology products.
And that there was so much nanotechnology products out in the market, because they choose their own product that would be available somewhere in the market. And then from this they started to try to see the consequences. And the life cycle analysis was also about the societal analysis, you could say, to try to identify different actors, like the researchers behind the product, and then how it goes out on the market, where to sell it, and where is it ending up, and what are the consequences, and what are the economical interests, what is about the environmental consequences, and so on, and try to see this.
And different, interests, as you said, but also different values connected to this new technology and risk perspectives.
And then we ended up with them try to make a lesson in the future classroom about how to work with those things. So they also did some kind, as your teachers did, but they didn't do it in reality. They just make a plan, a lesson plan. Okay, and then we ended up together.
Yeah. So what have we learned from this?
Yeah, but I think maybe also that we ended up together with the different groups.
Yeah.
That was a nice way to close the course, I think, that they did present for each other.
Yeah, and it's you can see that they focus different things, because in-service teacher often focus on how to evaluate or make grades or something similar.
And they also start always with
goals and aims and the curricula. It's more important, and the student teachers more start with the subject and the
challenges. I think.
Exactly.
And maybe also the possibilities.
Yeah.
So.
And also their own role in this, when they didn't know by themselves. A lot of things that I didn't know, and how could I teach in this when I don't know? That was very much of the teacher-students' focus, I think. Okay, so what did we learn about this?
I think this was a really good way to bring in science in the making into the classroom, because it's hard for teachers to get the connections and really know what to do, and as we say, if they're a little bit insecure, to bring in that. But this was an opportunity to see that they can work with science in the making, which research show the students are interested in, where you don't have all the answers and so on. And this was a project that we could work in that way.
And the research field of science education had worked quite much with socio-scientific issues for some years now. But with this new technology and science in the making, there is another perspective that is added to the socio-scientific issues, so that there is much common with the normal socio-scientific issues, but there is another perspective.
And I thought maybe also this inquiry-based part that the students did with the life cycle analysis and so was, I think, very valuable, because they saw that we don't know, and you and I, we didn't know as teachers either. So it get the learning process in another mode, in a way. And that was also what they said, that if you're working as a teacher with those things, you have to learn together with the students. And we have also to learn that we don't know, not even the researchers know. And how much can we develop things and get it out in the market when we don't know about the consequences? And this is the risk society that we're talking about, that they were really feeling, I think. Because we could talk about it and do some abstract project, but this was really, I think our students, they were a bit frustrated about this, that I didn't know and I couldn't get the knowledge.
Yeah, in the beginning, but then they realized that this is actually the case also for the researchers.
Yeah, and it's not the end product is not to know everything. It's about this is how it looks. This is where we are.
Yeah.
And to put the questions further. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.